and faced accountability for multiple crimes investigators accused him of in and around his hometown of Pageland, South Carolina. His criminal record started in 2017. Most charges involved serious violent felonies spread out across 9 different incidents and 11 different victims. When he walked into court on February 10th, 2026, Squirrel faced a maximum of 185 years in prison.
He is here to plead guilty to attempted armed robbery, failure to stop for blue lights, intimidation of a witness, discharging a firearm into an occupied vehicle. Your Honor, this is a negotiated plea. And Your Honor, I'm sorry, this is pursuant to North Carolina versus Alford.
Could you hold your right hand up, sir? You solemnly swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Robinson, I know your lawyer has explained to you what an lawful plea is. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
In a lawful plea, the defendant does not admit guilt, but consents to the conviction because the defendant agrees or believes that a jury after a hearing and hearing evidence could lead to a guilty verdict. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
With an lawful plea, regardless of it being an lawful plea where you don't admit guilt, it is a conviction on your record. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
We searched the county courthouse and found multiple case files with Squirrel's name on them. Court records show Squirrel's first violent felony case came in 2017 when he was 18 years old. Investigators say Squirrel and 2 co-defendants used a shotgun to beat and rob a man inside his home on R.W. Tadlock Road in Pageland. Records show they stole $400, a TV, 2 gaming systems, and took the victim's house and car keys. Chesterfield County deputies charged Squirrel with assault and battery by mob, armed robbery with a deadly weapon, pointing and presenting a gun, and criminal conspiracy. South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson's office prosecuted the case, but 5 years into the prosecution, the AG's office dismissed all charges, claiming insufficient evidence to prosecute. 3 months after his first felony case, deputies charged Squirrel with trying to kill his own family member by shooting him with a shotgun. He already faced decades in prison from the prior attempted murder case, but the AG's office dropped the charges in this new case as well, with the AG writing that the victim did not want Squirrel prosecuted. In August 2018, 6 months after that attempted murder case, deputies charged Squirrel with beating his live-in girlfriend. The Attorney General's office did nothing with that case for nearly 5 years, while Squirrel remained free on bond. In January 2022, Fourth Circuit Assistant Solicitor Mary Thomas Lee, with a stroke of a pen, dismissed that charge.
Why was Devontae trying to rob y'all? Or Squirrel, nickname Squirrel?
Like, he was intoxicated on some stuff that we don't even partake in.
Okay. Was he trying to rob y'all money or drugs? Just be honest.
Money. He ain't got no drugs. So look at me. I don't even look like no drugs.
Okay, I'm just asking the question.
In June 2020, while free on bond on other pending charges, investigators say Squirrel attempted to rob Tariq Adams and Noah Avila at gunpoint, then shot them. Squirrel did not leave that encounter unscathed. Investigators say Avila fired back, hitting Squirrel multiple times. They all survived. The sheriff's office later charged Squirrel with 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of attempted armed robbery. He was set free on a $150,000 bond in order to wear a GPS monitor, and if he violates the bond, the judge ordered Squirrel be immediately jailed. But 15th Circuit Senior Assistant Solicitor Mary Ellen Walter dropped every other charge in that attempted murder case if Squirrel would plead guilty to 1 count of attempted armed robbery. And he did. Walter negotiated a 15-year sentence, but if Squirrel completes 5 years on probation without any new charges, he will never have to serve the 15 years. In March 2022, still free on bond, Pageland police charged Squirrel with illegally carrying a 9mm pistol in town. 4 years later, the Attorney General's office never finished prosecuting that case. Walter dismissed the charge in the February 2026 plea deal. 6 months after the gun charge, Pageland police arrested Squirrel again, charging him with failure to stop for a blue light, reckless driving, no insurance or registration, and a chop shop ticket. Like the gun charge, the AG's office never finished that prosecution either. Solicitor Walter made a deal with Squirrel. If he'd plead guilty to the failure to stop, she'd ask for just 3 years in prison to run concurrently with all the other sentences. In April 2022, again while out on bond on all of those prior cases, Chesterfield County deputies charged Squirrel in a shooting at this Pageland apartment complex. Investigators charged Dadrian Deshawn Lockhart with shooting up an apartment there with 5 adults and 2 6-year-old children inside sleeping. Deputies found multiple bullet holes in the walls, one just 6 inches above one of the children's pillows. Investigators charged Lockhart with 5 counts of attempted murder and charged Squirrel with accessory before and after the fact, writing that Squirrel advised or agreed with or urged or hired or in some way aided, counseled, or encouraged Lockhart to commit attempted murder, but was not present when the crime was committed, and that Squirrel harbored or assisted Lockhart after the fact with the intention of enabling him to get away with it. The Chesterfield County Solicitor's Office later dismissed every count against Lockhart. Prosecutor Walter made those accessory charges disappear with the plea deal. In November 2024, Chesterfield County deputies responded to a 911 call about a fight at Squirrel's home. Court records show Squirrel and his father, Chucky Robinson, got into a fight. When deputies intervened, investigators say Squirrel threatened to kill the 3 deputies who answered the call. Although he was out on multiple prior bonds, he was set free again, this time on a no-cash bond. Solicitor Walter dropped all of those charges in the February 2026 plea agreement. In July 2025, Pageland police say Squirrel and other co-defendants were in the middle of Evans Mill Road, firing more than 20 rounds from a high-powered rifle and a handgun at a woman they followed from a nearby apartment complex. How did investigators know for sure it was Squirrel? That court-ordered GPS ankle monitor pinged at that apartment complex just before the shooting and stopped in the middle of the shooting scene as the shots rang out. The GPS data showed Squirrel speeding away from the scene seconds after the shooting was recorded on home security cameras. The GPS data tracked his trip home, all the way from the crime scene. Although the shooters missed the woman in her car, investigators say right after the shooting, Squirrel, whom she also referred to with a street name Rue, short for ruthless, Snapchat messaged the woman, "Don't go to no police saying my effing name." Pageland police charged Squirrel with witness intimidation, felony assault and battery, and shooting into an occupied car. The prosecutor agreed to drop the felony assault charge. Squirrel got 6 years for both of those charges. The victim showed up to the plea hearing, but asked the victim's advocate to read her statement to the judge.
I'm scared for my life to be anywhere around Chesterfield County because I don't know who he would tell to possibly harm me for telling. I'm absolutely scared for my life and have been since. I moved and sold my car because of fear someone is now watching me. I'm traumatized, and he is a danger to the community if he's willing to shoot a random innocent person.
Officers booked Squirrel into the county jail in late July 2025, where he stayed until his February 2026 plea hearing, when prosecutor Mary Ellen Walter came into Chesterfield County and took over all of his pending cases. With the plea deal, Walter and the 15th Circuit Solicitor's Office wiped most all of Devonta Squirrel Robinson's legal troubles away. The plea deal on paper might look like Squirrel got a 15-year prison sentence on the attempted armed robbery conviction, but the judge suspended the 15 years in exchange for a 5-year jail term and 5 years probation. But with the concurrent sentences on the other convictions, Squirrel actually only faces 5 years. That's because the attempted armed robbery is a violent, most serious offense. It trumps all the other sentences. Because they're concurrent sentences, as Squirrel serves the 5 years, the 6 and 3 year sentences on the other convictions just disappear. But Squirrel really doesn't face 5 years because the judge gave him time served credit for the nearly 4 years he spent out of jail on bond wearing an ankle monitor. The same ankle monitor Squirrel had strapped to his leg during this July 2025 shooting. That means Squirrel might spend between 6 months to a year in prison.
Mr. Robinson, is anybody making you come to court today to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Anybody tricked you into doing this today?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'm sorry, offer plea. Has anybody
sir.
promised you anything to do that?
No, sir.
Mr. Robinson, do you understand that on this negotiated plea, because it is a negotiated plea, I even had a choice to accept it or not accept it? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The sheriff told me he believes Squirrel got off way too easy, but the sheriff might have been the reason prosecutors never took these cases to trial in the first place.
Hey, how you doing?
Nobody ever told you to flip over there.
No.
Don't do it back over there.
In January 2024,
Squirrel. I'm gonna do my best to get these charges go away. I think that this. Like you said.
Chesterfield County Sheriff Kembo Streeter went to Squirrel's home and gave him and his family intimate details of the case file from that 2020 shooting involving Noah Vela and Tariq Adams, the one where investigators charged Squirrel with 2 counts of attempted murder, armed robbery, and a weapons enhancement.
Like I told Wayne, they screwed up on this case. Well, I don't know what him and Angel were thinking.
I don't know what I haven't looked at yet. I got case jacket, and there's no video in it. There's no. It's about that's it. The medical.
And I told him, I asked him.
Reports. Who interviewed Squirrel? Nobody. That's
only
what I'm
one-
saying.
the only one had, yeah.
This is crap from the very beginning.
Neither Wayne Jordan nor Angel Tubbs, 2 of the sheriff's top investigators at the time, knew the sheriff was meeting with Squirrel.
Well, Wayne ain't gonna stay there.
And Angel left. They wanted you to fire both of them. But we want to see who's gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who really gonna do that when they get in there? Like, who really gonna fire them?
I force Angel out. I'm forcing Wayne out. He knows it. You gotta find somebody to bring in. You can't just get rid of somebody if you can't get anybody to come in and do the job. Wayne gone.
Again, that criticism happened right in front of a defendant in an active pending criminal prosecution, where those same investigators are witnesses for the state.
Sir? You don't look that bad, man. Man, they make out like he John Dillinger. Everything happened. Squirrel did it.
In 2024, SLED opened a criminal investigation into the sheriff and that Robinson family secret recording. SLED's first interview.
What do you think SLED wants to know from you today?
I have no idea.
Was Chucky Robinson. He told SLED he served a purpose for the sheriff's office.
I would speak to him. Maybe if something going on, like a case or whatever, I would try to call him in and fill him in on stuff like that. Cause everything happened, I'm gonna know up there in Pageland. I'm gonna know about it. You know what I mean? So I will fill him in on stuff like that.
So you would give him information about other instances.
Right. Yeah.
How?
And I did that with all of them. You know what I mean? With all the sheriffs, I would let them know, or the investigator or somebody. I mean, I didn't want the crap on the street around me either, you know what I mean? So if somebody doing something wrong, I would just let them know if I see it.
Part of the SLED investigation was to figure out whether the sheriff obstructed justice in the state's prosecution of Squirrel. SLED turned its case over to Solicitor Jimmy Richardson's 15th Circuit Solicitor's Office, the same solicitor's office prosecuting Squirrel now. Because of the secret recording, Chesterfield County Solicitor could not prosecute Squirrel. In 2024, Richardson decided, despite what the sheriff did and said in the secret recording, there was insufficient evidence to charge the sheriff. And the sheriff's impact on the pending prosecution of Squirrel at the time was yet to be determined.
Both sides, the state and the defense, have some concerns about a trial moving forward and whether or not the trial would be fair to either side. We do feel that this resolution is fair. Certainly in these types of situations, nobody gets everything that they want.
Mr. Robinson has been a thorn in our side ever since I've been the sheriff for 3 years. I cannot speak before that. I will tell you, Chesterfield County has been a safer place since he's been incarcerated. I would ask the court to please, he needs jail time.
How you doing, Miss Walter? My name's Jody Barlow, Queen City News. I want to ask you about this case.
I don't have a comment. All comments are made through Ms. Breeder, Solicitor Richardson.
Well, you're the one here who prosecuted this case, so Mr. Robinson was facing 185 years maximum sentences. How do you defend this plea to the people of Chesterfield County? If If this case was good enough to plea and get a defendant to admit guilt, why not try this? Why can't you say anything? You negotiated this plea, you handled it. Can you not explain to the public your reasons? Some criticism we got from the sheriff's office here and others is that,
As I have said, I have no comment. All comments will be made through our public information officer or the solicitor.
okay, well, I'm asking you, you're the state official who handled this plea. The criticism again is that you all don't live here in this community, so this didn't matter to you as much as it does others here. Do you agree with that? Did Sheriff Campbell Streeter ruin the prosecution of this case in any way by that recording? Do you have any regrets?
You have regrets about a lot of things you do. If I had to do it over again, no, I'd have never gone into Chucky's house. But I did. I didn't have all the facts. I based my opinion that time on the facts I had in front of me. After I learned all the facts at a later date, I changed my opinion. You heard it in the courtroom today.
And do you feel, because of that, going over there with not having all the facts and the recording and everything that's happened from the fallout of this, do you feel any responsibility for the plea that was negotiated here and executed today?
Personally, no. No, I don't, Jody. Because I've talked to the people, some of the people involved, and they said it had absolutely no bearing on it.
But what I'd like to say, if you grant this, we appreciate it. I will make sure my son don't get in any more trouble. And as soon as he get out, we're gonna try to move out of the county and to North Carolina where I work at, and that's where we reside, so we can do everybody a favor.
I just want to say I'm sorry, and what we had going on, I'm sorry about that. I got nothing against you or none of y'all officers. Lord bless y'all.
Now, Mr. Robinson, having issued these sentences, I will remind you that you've got 5 years of probation staring at you. And if you've ever been on probation, have you been on probation?
No, sir.
It is not easy. And I've often said that one of the quickest ways to end up in prison is to violate probation. And if you do, you've got a lot of time hanging over your head.
The 15th Circuit Solicitor's press release did not tell the whole story about this plea agreement. Nowhere did the solicitor explain that Squirrel will only serve about 1 year of the 5 he was sentenced to, or that the solicitor dismissed multiple other charges, including those attempted murder charges connected to that attempted armed robbery conviction. With the probation, if Squirrel violates that in any way, he will have to return to prison to finish that 15-year original sentence. Now, this conviction also counts as a strike under South Carolina's 2 and 3 strikes law, meaning another conviction for a most serious crime, and Devonta Squirrel Robinson could spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole.